What's up, guys and girls? This is James at Locking the Value and CopyMyCrypto.com talking to you today about the wonderful world of crypto. Bitcoin's doing a decent recovery so far. Oh, well, it's having a decent day so far. It keeps cracking 34,000, but is meeting resistance consistently. But in the last sort of few days, there's been or certainly in the last day or so, there's been some really positive things being spoken about Bitcoin. Obviously, we're coming up to a big day tomorrow with contracts closing and whatnot, so that will bring some serious volatility. Um, but we'll look at some of the news that's come out of the markets. Not the market, sorry. Look at some of the news that's come out about Bitcoin in the past day or so. Before I do, as always, the spreadsheet's updated. These were just the first 26 coins that I thought would crush it in this bull cycle. If you'd invested $100 into each, you'd be in profit for about 17 grand right now, based on when I released the videos at the times of recording. Only in a few of these, the rest are into cryptos that I think will give me far greater returns in this bull cycle, that I still think we're going to get back into. I think we're in the Wyckoff spring section, or we're coming close to the spring section. I still think there's going to be another correction. But the coins I'm in, I share on Copy My Crypto. If you're new to crypto, it's perfect for you to see what I'm holding, why I'm holding it, and the opportunities these coins present. The long-term goal is just to retire at a ridiculous level where nothing is ever a worry again. So if you want to join me on that journey, if you're working a 9 to 5 and you want to start building some wealth, this is perfect for you. So check it out. Link is in the description. Right. So if we have a look at Bitcoin on the hourly at the moment, there's been a pretty good uptrend, particularly today. I mean, if we zoom in a bit, but we've had today since this morning where we were hovering around 32,200 mark, swung back up into the 34,000s, and we keep meeting resistance at around 34,300. So that's not too bad. Not too bad. Obviously, there's a lot to come still with everything that's going to happen tomorrow. But Bitcoin holding fairly steady is certainly a positive, because you can have legitimate concerns about it being bearish, and I think there is still a correction to come. I just don't think we're out of the woods yet. But some really interesting news that's come out. So firstly, crypto ETFs, while they are down nearly 70% in terms of daily trading volume, there are increasing inflows for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And that's obviously pretty positive. Now that's predominantly in two of the Canadian investment firms, but bear in mind ETFs are predominantly in Canada. But it shows that there is at least a desire, particularly with Bitcoin and Ethereum. And trading volume you would expect to be down given the market fluctuations at the moment. I imagine that the trading volume is going to increase as the market starts to stabilize, and then certainly when the market goes into full bull mode again, the trading volumes will skyrocket. But speaking of ETFs, Brazil. So Brazil Stock Exchange lists the first Bitcoin ETF in Latin America. This is a good sign. We're still waiting on a sort of big ETF move in a number of countries. So Latin America getting in on the action is always a good thing. And it will provide obviously exposure, particularly for institutions within Latin America. That's sort of, if the main people or the main ways institutions are getting in at the moment are ETFs. So it's a positive sign in terms of strengthening the overall investment into the crypto market, especially when you've had news like El Salvador's decision to make Bitcoin legal tend to be challenged. You want to see countries getting more and more exposure, or certainly cities and countries getting more exposure. And speaking of more countries getting exposure, of course, bloody Bloomberg, screw that. But so there's a crypto listing in Dubai. Dubai are finally getting in on the action with crypto. Bear in mind, Dubai is actually one of the hubs, financial hubs of the world. Um, so getting into Bitcoin in particular is going to be very positive for the market, especially with the wealth um, within Dubai, because some of the net worth individuals in Dubai are staggering. So them getting exposure to stuff like crypto, very positive thing. The other piece of news, which I'm quite pleased about, is the front runner for New York mayor wants to make New York the center of Bitcoins. And bear in mind, New York is obviously one of the biggest financial hubs in the world in terms of cities. Jesus, we know that there's been issues for people in New York trying to get into crypto. So if um, the front runner actually wins, um, it could bode very, very, very well for anyone living in New York as well. Um, and he says, I'm going to promise you in 1 year, you're going to see a different city. We're going to become the center of life science, the center of cybersecurity, the center of self-driving cars, drones, the center of Bitcoins. Now, hopefully that wasn't just a tag on to we're going to be the center of everything. But it's having New York being more exposed to crypto would be a wonderful thing, particularly if that can then translate um, more strongly to the New York Stock Exchange, etc. Um, and if we could finally see that ETF in America. But we've been waiting on that for a very long time in America. I think there's about 7 or 8, maybe more pending ETFs that are just still decisions are being delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed. So, yeah. But overall, I mean, that's quite positive news. There's not actually been anything really overly bearish uh, in the past 12 hours, which is a really nice change. Yeah. Uh, and in news within the crypto space as well, if you're in the crypto space for a while, John McAfee died yesterday under rather suspicious circumstances in prison in Spain, or Barcelona, I think. He was he used to say and do a lot of weird things, but he was a really interesting guy. And he was a huge advocate for crypto. And you can't really talk about the previous bull cycles without mentioning um, John McAfee. So, yeah. Um, Otherwise, markets sort of we're seeing predominantly sideways movement, and we'll see how the rest of the day shakes out, really. But generally, small single-digit percentage changes. Bitcoin obviously leads the market, so whatever Bitcoin does um, is reflected in the other assets. So we've got to see how Bitcoin shakes out over the realistically, the next sort of 96 hours, how it's going to perform tomorrow is going to be a big deal, and that will have far greater repercussions or far greater effects on all the altcoins. We all know this. This is not news, but yeah, at the moment, nothing huge. Bitcoin recovered well from the sort of deep dip earlier this morning, but yeah, sideways, 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 sideways. The weekend will be interesting because the weekend is usually a reflection of the Friday. So yeah, we'll see. Um, just be careful if you're entering any longs or any shorts at the moment. Market's moving weirdly. And it only takes one weird tweet from someone and, and the market will react. So yeah, be careful. Um, if you're new to crypto, check out Copy My Crypto. It's a perfect way for you to get in and start building some wealth. Because you are going to want to build your wealth and your retirement fund. And this is the perfect way to do it. Crypto is the future. Make no mistake about it. Anyway, that's it from me. Take care. Stay safe. Bye bye.